There we go. They still gotta give you a name. Oh, hey! Didn't see you there. What's up everybody? StevDeS here. I understand that the background for this video is, well, it's a little different. I wanted to kind of go over what Overwatch 2 means for one of my more beloved what-ifs. That is to say, one of my personal favorite what-ifs that I've done on this channel. What if Overwatch and Mann joined forces? Or Mann and Overwatch joined forces. Honestly, I forget which one I put first. But with Overwatch 2's release, damn you, Blizzard. You kind of threw what I was going for under the bus a bit. Plus, there was a detail that I kind of forgot about as far as the Team Fortress 2 side of things, so I'd like to address that in this video. Let's begin with Team Fortress 2. I had mentioned that there would be no Soldier mercenary because Soldier was retired. He had his family, he married Heavy's sister, things would go off normally like that. I failed to realize that a military family, a really heavily military family, they tend to send their kids to war. And with an Omnic threat, I do believe that Mr. Jane Doe would send his oldest off to be a soldier. However, he's kind of related to Mr. Jane Doe, so most of the military would probably reject him. It's at this point that his son would actually be pointed towards Mann, who is leading the weapons race against the Omnic threat. Why wouldn't Soldier suggest that his son join up with Mann? He'd be fighting the good fight against the Omnics on American soil. The true patriotism of any soldier. So there's actually one more mercenary than the mercenaries I mentioned in part 2. Now for Overwatch. For the most part, I got things right. Winston, Tracer, Mei, Mercy, Brigida, a lot of what I said was on par. So this part will be addressing what's different about Overwatch. I'm still gonna back up the Pharah and McCree thing. I do believe they would still stay in Overwatch. The difference is McCree just has some unfinished business with Ashe and then he's more than happy to join up. As far as Pharah, her unfinished business has to do with Overwatch, so why wouldn't she join? During the gameplay trailer of Overwatch 2, you can hear Reinhardt and Torbjorn actually talking to each other. Reinhardt is trying to recruit him, and with his daughter and him part of Overwatch, this new Overwatch that's being made, why wouldn't he? I do believe that Torbjorn would join Overwatch, but the time frame comes into question. Given we're talking about a year after Overwatch was disbanded, my timeline still fits. It could still have Pharah and McCree joining Overwatch after the events of Overwatch 2. But as far as Zenyatta in that gameplay trailer, honestly, Genji could have just been visiting Zenyatta, and Zenyatta could have just been, it's good to see you. It could have just been a conversation. I doubt Genji would actually, want Zenyatta to join Overwatch. But while we're talking about Genji, roll the clip. He was probably warning Hanzo that somebody's gonna come by to either recruit him or kill him. He needs to be prepared because he does care about his brother still. And for all we know, he was probably getting Hanzo to try to join him with Zenyatta, who is also not joining Overwatch because Zenyatta is his own monk. He's traveling, that whole shtick. But I don't think Genji was trying to hire Hanzo for Overwatch. Genji learned how Overwatch failed, and he doesn't want to be part of that again. Why would he want his brother to be part of that? Plus, there are two key factors in every Overwatch confirmed hero. There is, one, the coin being shown, the invitation to join, just like Reinhardt had in his special, and a specific mentioning of Overwatch being rejoined or brought back into it in every short special. Now keep in mind, I haven't read any of the comics, but I am aware of the specials, and I'm aware of what the background is for most of these heroes. Tell me, where is either in the short Dragons? Nowhere! Because Genji doesn't want Hanzo to join Overwatch. Genji doesn't want to join Overwatch. It's clear that because it was a debacle that tore down from the inside, it's not worth rejoining during this second Omnic crisis. But there he is! There he is! Why? Damn you, Blizzard! Damn you, there's no reason! I still stand by the fact that there is no reason Genji would make a return to Overwatch. It was an inside job after what we know as Reaper, Reyes, had disbanded everything by killing someone as part of Blackwatch. It was an inside thing, and Genji knew. He was there when he witnessed it. You can go ahead and use the logic that, well, you want McCree to rejoin. Well, he was part of that Blackwatch mission too. Yeah, but McCree is going to Route 66 to bury everything from the past and start over, just like the new Overwatch is. Genji literally has no reason to be part of this Overwatch. In my eyes, you're developing a character that doesn't need development. He's got plenty. He was betrayed by his family, he was made part Omnic, he was taught by Zenyatta how to accept it, and he went to Hanzo to end that and meet his demons head on to warn his brother because he still cared about his brother. From now on, I would expect more to be given to Hanzo rather than Genji. Hell, I would have rathered Hanzo's ult be used to cut the friggin' robot's arm off when the robot was about to grab Tracer, not Yuji Gyokeno, however the hell you say it. May thy demons guide thee to thy fiery death, Blizzard. Focus on the interesting characters. Genji's story has ended. But now we've got Genji again. Why? There's no point. So Genji will be in part 3 when I get around to it. As much as I don't like it, I still want to stay canon with the material. So, Genji's gonna be in part 3. Now I have to write something interesting for him. Thanks, Blizzard. Okay, but I got that out of my system. Now what about Sojourn and Lucio? Now, honestly, it was nice seeing them. Sojourn we only got to see with one of the Archives missions, so it's interesting that she's going to be a playable character, maybe replacing Soldier 76 given the pulse rifle. I didn't see Soldier 76 in that. Doesn't mean Mr. Morrison won't be part of it, but hey, we've got Sojourn and she's got a gun arm. That's pretty cool. As far as Lucio joining Overwatch, it wasn't very clear, but considering Lucio was in the prep room, I guess you could call it, the room with the map and all the other Overwatch agents, it's quite possible that he does join Overwatch, maybe joining Overwatch in the middle of the story. However, Lucio's addition does make me question the validity of it. He just wanted to defend Ilios. He didn't really want to defend everywhere. He just wanted to defend his home. By joining Overwatch, I guess he can complete that goal a lot better, but honestly, Lucio, alright, I mean, he and Tracer seem to get along. My last note is, I pray that Bastion joins Overwatch. I had Bastion not join Overwatch in my what if, because even though I love the character, he's probably not going to be part of it. But if he is part of it, awesome! An Omnic member to Overwatch, fighting other Omnics, and I'm going to have so much fun with his turret. Oh yes, I'm that guy. And speaking of future hopes and dreams, what do I think about Overwatch 2? It's not necessary. Okay, so it looks nice, and with Overwatch having a very relevant presence, Overwatch 2 would definitely bring in the business. However, it doesn't seem very useful to the brand. Consider how sequels go. The closest sequels we've seen that are relevant, really, are the Spyro and Crash sequels. They came within, I think, a year of each other, between 1 and 2 years. This Overwatch game has been going on for 4 years, only growing in popularity thanks to the constant esports, thanks to the constant populations actually joining in the game, and hell, when I get my new internet, you bet I'm going to waste my free time doing it. That is to say, a sequel releasing in such a short time isn't a bad thing. It's just not really necessary when you think about all the different things that goes into Overwatch. There's a lot of things that go into Overwatch 1, so having that as part of Overwatch 2, it just doesn't seem to make very much sense when it comes down to the story. But you all know how I love to play devil's advocate. So, why don't I try that here? Well, in an interview, Jeff said that you would be able to take all of your stuff from Overwatch 1 and port it to Overwatch 2. This is a good thing because it helps make the first game more relevant. Overwatch 1 can just stay relevant with the Archives mission, telling the story about what happened before Overwatch was disbanded and what happened around the time that it may have been disbanded shortly after. Maybe telling a few heroes' stories. Overwatch 2 can keep the plot going. Overwatch 2 can look to the future, while Overwatch 1 looks to the past as far as the story that the developers want to tell. This does make a clear divide between the games. PvE lovers will more than likely flock to Overwatch 2, and Overwatch 1 will be mainly PvP. This means everyone's happy, right? Wrong. By making a sequel with everything the first did and more, you just further solidify that the first game is going to die. With copy-pasting maps, because I've seen several maps that are familiar, with several characters who are very familiar, and with the option to transfer all of your skins, voice files, all of that to the second game, you're effectively just releasing Overwatch again. This trailer does very little for me. In fact, it just further solidifies the insult that Blizzard is perpetuating onto gamers. Saying, oh, well, you know, you like Overwatch, we're just going to put this game out there, slap a new coat of paint on it, and you can buy it all the same. All the same, you know, it'd be the same thing. You'll love it. Trust me, you'll love this game. That's exactly what you're playing right now, but just with a new coat of paint on it. You know, it's good. It's good. You can go ahead and play it. I mean, we're focusing more on the story, so there's more of a story there, but we're still going to have the PvP, we're still going to have the skins, we're still going to have all of that good stuff that you love. We're even going to have character development, so that also helps as far as leveling up your characters and whatever heroes you like to play as. You know, you're going to be okay with this game. Trust me. You're good. But you have to pay $60. You see the problem? It insults a game that people have loved since May of 2016, and I get it. 4 years is long enough. We need a sequel. I totally get that. But considering your main rival Team Fortress 2 has been lasting much longer with the 2 on it, look at the bright side. Blizzard, you finally caught up with them. We can only hope that 2 won't completely overshadow 1, because 1 is still a game that definitely needs to be played every now and then. Just make new Archives content, keep the game alive through certain story missions, and don't limit it to the anniversary of Overwatch. Keep it consistent, Blizzard, and we'll be okay with both games. This is a huge undertaking. And with how I know Blizzard, there's no way in hell they're able to get this right. Prove me wrong, Blizzard. This is my challenge to you. Well, there we go. A nerd on the internet ranted for about 15 minutes. For more what-ifs in the realm of video gaming and Dragon Ball alike, such as the Team Fortress 2 Overwatch story that I made. Honestly, not a lot changed. You've seen this video. Go ahead and check out those 2 parts when you get the chance. Oh, and hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.